Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video that I've seen circulating on social media, and I just wanted to add to the conversation and give you guys my reaction to the video. So just some background, it's a first date and the lady has decided she doesn't like where the guy has taken her, and this is how she chooses to express that.
Woo. Let me just get the door for you.
Okay. So already I have a problem. She let someone pick her up and drive all the way to wherever they're going and didn't say a word, and I'm gonna guess didn't even ask where we're going, and she can see where they are, and I'm sure by now he has communicated where he's taking her, and instead of talking to him, she actually pretends like everything is fine. So this little okay makes everybody, including us, feel like everything is going well. So that's the first problem that I have, is that she's actually being pretentious with him, and then out of nowhere
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car.
Immediately her voice changes, her demeanor changes, everything changes as soon as he gets out the car. Now she's got an attitude. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting out of this car. And even when he tries to open the door, like she said, okay, when he said he was gonna do, now she's waving a finger at him. Oh my gosh, lady.
Yes.
So she's gone from having an attitude and waving her finger in his face like she's a school teacher talking to a little schoolboy, and now she's got the window down and her tone is very employee. Yes, I am so sorry, but ladies, when we walk around with attitudes like this and then we expect princess treatment, it's actually laughable, and it makes me feel really bad for the guy, especially the way that he handles it, which you'll see shortly. It makes me feel really bad because this is somebody who's an actual gentleman, and unfortunately for him, he's taken a woman who's pretending to be feminine and tried to treat her like a lady.
Would you want me to open the door for you? Okay. Are you're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it?
Let's start with the positives. I really commend this guy for his calmness, his maturity, his respectfulness, even when he can see that this situation is just getting a little bit weird. And obviously he was really taken aback. You could visibly see it on his face when he realized she's recording him without his consent, by the way. And but he still handled it like a champ. You know, he was still very respectful and calm, and even offered to talk about it. Girl, why do you have your phone out recording you and your date about to have a disagreement, possibly? Why do you have that recorded, and why do you have an audience of, oh, look at this guy taking me to the cheese factory? You know, I think social media is great, and I love taking photos and selfies and all of that kind of stuff on dates. But if you're using social media to humiliate somebody who's actually putting in effort into a date, fair enough, it may not be the kind of effort that you want. But the way he's carrying himself and the way he's taking care of you, he's putting in effort, okay? And if the best you can do is humiliate him and think that's gonna get you better results, this is exactly what I talk about when I say some women think having standards means being mean. For me personally, once you resort to being mean, that tells me that you don't have standards. That tells me you've never communicated a standard before. That tells me that you're not used to certain things. That attitude is just overcompensating for your lack of actual self-confidence. You don't think that if you spoke properly to a guy that he would agree to take you somewhere nicer than the Cheesecake Factory. I've never been, so I don't know what the standard is over there. But I've been offered dates to places that I knew I didn't want to go to, and I communicated in a very respectful way to the guy that that's not what I would want to do. And he had the choice to either step it up to something that would be more my flavor, my scene, or to back out and go and take someone else who shares his taste of the Cheesecake Factory or whatever the case might be. If you have said yes to this Cheesecake Factory and then changed your mind at the door, I'm sorry, that just literally tells me, and you have to be recording him in order to say, I don't want to go here. You can't do it on your own. That for me is very low self-esteem, very low self-confidence. You literally are overcompensating for something that you know is not there, and he probably senses it's not there. What you can just do instead of doing this childish thing is just talk nicely to a person. Let them down if you have to let them down. If you have to turn the whole date down, turn it down. But don't do it in a way that he's not going to want to take anybody else on a date ever again. And it just makes you look really childish. If you're going to talk about your looks and how good you look too good to be at a certain place and whatever, rather keep that to yourself, because beauty is quite subjective. Rather let someone compliment you. You can feel good about yourself. That's amazing. That's important. But what you might think is the peak or the pinnacle might be below average for someone else.
I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we go.
And there we go once again with the controlling boss lady kind of vibe. Get in the car. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about this. Ladies, especially my high achieving ladies, highly independent ladies, let us remember to leave our business tone at work, in our office, and let's not bring it out to dates, because it's very off-putting. And whether you think you're being assertive and communicating your standards and all of that kind of stuff, doing it in a business tone kind of way is what's going to get you men that cannot do for you, because there's no man who actually has a level of self-respect and masculinity that's going to put up with you talking down to him. Me personally, and I'm not a man, but when I get around women that have that condescending tone, I stay far away from them. It's very draining. It's extremely draining, especially in a social setting. If I can't avoid them at work, I do what I gotta do. But in a social setting, if I find myself around a super bossy, super controlling, super sarcastic type of woman, I walk away from her, okay? There are friends that I've even broken up with because, you know, the idea of just being bossed around just doesn't sit well with me. I'm a grown person. I handle my own business. I don't need in my own social time a second boss, honestly. So that's all I've got to say about this conversation. Ladies, please, if you are looking for princess treatment, and I'm speaking specifically to independent women, if you are looking for princess treatment, leave your business tone at the door, please. Allow yourself to be soft, allow yourself to be receptive. You know, if you're going to communicate something that is contrary or against what the person that's taking you out on a date is doing, you can do it in a way that doesn't emasculate him. Okay, I think one of the hallmarks of independent women is the emasculation of their men, and then they wonder why, you know, their men don't treat them or don't spoil them or don't do all of these nice things for them. It's not because they don't want to, it's not because they can't, it's just because not every single one, but a lot of independent women spend more time emasculating men than building him up. Even in this interaction, she was sweet for all of 2 seconds. And from there, everything went downhill. She was horrible to him. She dragged him. And not only did she do this just between the two of them, she actually had the audacity to record it and put it out there. Sadly for her, a lot of people are looking at her as low value and looking at him as high value just because of, if you just listen to the tone, the difference in tone between the two of them. He's very respectful and he's very genuine and sincere in his tone. She's very sarcastic and condescending in her tone. That is the quickest way to see the difference between high value and low value. You can let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you beautiful ladies and gents in the next one. Stay feminine.